This farm was started, it's coming now to 6 years. I'd come for a burial on this particular village, and by coincidence, the funeral cottage took long to come in, so we are roaming around. While other people are looking for what to eat, my mind was about, is there a possibility of getting land here? So some people brought me to one of these areas, an area that was still virgin with no persons on it, no squatter, no nothing. Because generally the land was arid and full of thorny trees. So I picked interest in it, and that's how I came to be. After the burial, I came back, looked around, surveyed it, and I knew that there was no encumbrance. So I decided that I put up a farm here.
What's going on, people? The Curious African is back, and I am so glad that you're here and you're watching our content. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I am begging you kindly. Leave us a comment and also tell us what you would want this channel to look like. Any suggestions, I'm open to them, and I would love you to give me some advice. Now, today, you know we are big on agriculture. This is what we do, okay? We travel to the farm because if we do not feed this continent, there's nobody else who's going to feed this continent. That you can be sure. Now, we have a gentleman called Anthony Mateega. Now, Anthony Mateega is located in a place called Bulamazi, in a place called Muduma. It's in Mpigi district. You can just access it through Bujuko. It's not that difficult. Bujuko is along, is that Mubende Road? Yeah. Mubende Road. When you get to Bujuko, there's a turn, and then there's a good farm. It's now a demonstration farm by this gentleman called Anthony Mateega. If you want to learn more about what he does, he's gonna tell you exactly how he turned this land called Bulamazi. Even when you hear it, it means that the land was just basically barren. It didn't have any future. It had no water. But this man used all sorts of methods to turn this land into a productive type of land. Now he has amazing plantation, banana plantation. He has tomatoes all year round. Yes, from Jan to December, this man has tomatoes. You can do it. See what kind of ways you can use, what kind of methods you need to incorporate in your work to get tomatoes all year round. Also, he has some piggery at the demonstration farm as well. We are going to be seeing exactly how he does it. He also has chicken, yes. And in the battery cage system, so many people don't like battery cages because they think they're expensive, but they have their apps. Yes, check out how this video goes, and let's take a dive into this episode.
I'm Anthony Mateega Nashiria, aged 49, coming close to my 50th jubilee year. I'm an insurer by profession, and I work with the statewide insurance company. I'm equally a farmer and a family man. Yes, I have a passion for farming and generally to improve society and the communities in which we live. And that is why I am where I am right now. I'm a leader both in church and in other circles. That is why we always, as leaders, try to impress it upon ourselves to make sure that we inspire others to greater heights for the common good, spiritually, socially, and economically. The name of our farm is St. Joseph, named after St. Joseph the Worker. So it is St. Joseph Agro-Business Enterprises, Manyogaseka. Manyogaseka is just a spot on this village, which is Bulamazi. Bulamazi literally means there is no water in the area. is generally a dry area. But there we are. We are found in Mpigi district, in Modoma, the Gombololo of Modoma, sub-county, Modoma. That's where we are located. It's not quite a very big farm, come close to 50 acres. And that's where we are. This farm was started, it's coming now to 6 years. I'd come for a burial on this particular village, and by coincidence, the funeral cottage took long to come in, so we are roaming around. While other people are looking for what to eat, my mind was about, is there a possibility of getting land here? So some people brought me to one of these areas, an area that was still virgin with no persons on it, no squatter, no nothing. Because generally the land was arid and full of thorny trees. So I picked interest in it, and that's how I came to be. After the burial, I came back, looked around, surveyed it, and I knew that there was no encumbrance. So I decided that I put up a farm here. Well, generally the reason why this place had no squatters or no persons around on it, the reason was it's very, very dry and the soils were infertile. And deep in me, I have a principle that everything God that created is very good. So it is our duty to change these soils to make them what they're supposed to be. So those scriptural, biblical teachings inspired me a lot. Whatever God created is good, and it is our duty to change it to what it's supposed to be. So I came, I saw, I started, I conquered, and that is where we are now. Yeah, we have a number of enterprises on this farm because we are tending towards a demonstration farm. So we are dealing in bananas. We have bananary, both edible and sweet bananas, which we literally call gonja. We are dealing in fruits, and there are different types of fruits. We are having oranges. We are having pineapples as fruits. We are having mangoes. We are having passion fruit. So basically, those are the fruits we are dealing in. And then we have coffee. And in addition to coffee, we also deal in animals. No, before even we go to animals, we have vegetables in different forms. And that's why we put up demonstration plots, which we are calling small urban plots, vegetable plots, in which we find lettuce, leeks, onions, tomatoes on a large scale, which is even under irrigation, and generally green. We are encouraging people, they should be taking green, green, and green. So on the side of animals, we are having 3 types of animals. One, we deal in poultry, layer poultry, layers, and which are managed under cage system. Then we have a piggery enterprise, and we're mainly breeders. People come and buy young ones to start their own farms. And then we deal also in dairy animals, cows. So basically that is where we are. One, I think that my first strength in as far as agriculture is concerned, I have passion for agriculture. Passion is the leading aspect. It makes me go into research, read, research, look everywhere, and consult people who have gone, who are technical in that field. We have a tendency always to use people who are not technical. But on this farm, we are serious with when it comes to people like agronomists, like veterinarians, etc., etc. So we use them. And in addition, of course, the IT is doing a lot. We do a lot of research. And of course, there's a lot of also learning through observation. When you visit another farmer, you learn the good therein. You copy what is good. What is bad is also a lesson. You avoid it on your own farm. So there are several ways of learning. That's why we are trying our level best to improve daily. Where there is good, we learn for the betterment. Where it is bad, we avoid. So you can't avoid what you have not seen or not understood. So every single farm is a lesson to us. Yeah, one of the major principles in agriculture is the manure for a farm is the foot of the farmer. Your physical presence matters a lot. You are not micromanaging, but it is very important that you avoid telephone farming. So I've tried to avoid as much as possible what we call telephone farming. Telephone farming is whereby somebody simply rings, he asks how many piglets were born, how many matokes, bunches of are there, etc. So one physical presence matters a lot, and I give this farm quite a lot of time to the best of my ability. I get a lot of support from the family members. One, my wife is a health worker, she's a nurse, a tutor, but she's involved in all aspects of brooding, especially the poultry. She's responsible and very keen on the health of the young ones. I recall a case, we had a very bad poisoning. It was plant poisoning, whereby the cows took forage where there was poison. I had to ring her, and within just a few minutes, he had advised what to do under the circumstances. And we saved close to 12 animals which are dying, but she's fully involved. The little ones, when they're on holiday, full time at the farm, full time, no nonsense when it comes to that. And they are fully aware of exactly what goes on here and there. So they're involved. I have my brothers, 2 of them. They are lawyers, but every 2 days they're here, they are there. So I've involved my brothers, or we are together, and even my family, to ensure continuity. Many of these enterprises die because the proprietor moves with it. When he's sick, the farm is sick. When he's dead, the farm is dead. So to avoid such scenario, that's why you bring in all your family members and they're part and parcel of the farm. Then, in addition to that, comes then the management on the ground, day-to-day management. So all those assist in identifying and making sure that the enterprise goes ahead. Yes, that's a very good question. How do we impact society? From the word go, I told you I'm a leader in church and at high levels. And one of the purposes of a leader is to transform the lives of people. I've been a leader in the Archdiocese of Kampala as head of the laity. I'm a vice head of the laity in Uganda. I move in every angle of Uganda, in different districts, in different dioceses. You can see the poverty, you can see the aspirations of the people. So wherever you try to put up an enterprise, you make sure that it has an impact. For example, when I came into this place, just close to 6 years ago, this was a place known to be infertile, totally, completely, and also. I proved it otherwise. Now, everybody is prizing every single drop of, if I'm to say, a spade of soil here. Whereas formerly, just 5-6 years ago, it was nothing. 2, yeah, you can see our neighborhood here. This was bushland, completely, and also. In the neighborhood, I've been giving different families suckers for bananas. They come in for manure. You assist to the best of your ability, much as you equally need it. Secondly, the attitudes of the people are changing. The attitude of the young men and women. I'm so concerned about the youth. They are our future and they are our present. So they are slowly but surely being transformed in attitude. Why? When they see the so-called land people, and I'm using the word land in quotes, or educated, when they're busy toiling in soil, they say, who are we not to be involved? But now my duty is to help them, or our duty is to assist them to transform and modernize agriculture. A case for irrigation. We can't wait for the rains. Right now they may be there, but the changing weather patterns. But presently we are having tomatoes. We are having them throughout the year. So the people will ask you, as the saying nowadays says, state, how do you make it that you may have tomatoes throughout the year? How do you make it that you may have vegetables throughout the year? Make use of the modern systems like the irrigation, drip lines, etc. It is a slow, painful, but worthy experience. Furthermore, how we are impacting society. When it comes to environmental protection, I'm very, very, very tough when it comes to environmental protection. Walk throughout all these 50 acres. You are not going to find bovera. You are not going to find bottles. And there is a penalty for it once I find it.
I have realized that a lot of people who come to watch our videos actually leave without subscribing. So I'm asking you kindly, please subscribe and leave a like on this video and tell the whole family, yes, your whole family, about this channel. Tell them I know some guy that I saw somewhere on YouTube talking about agriculture and how cool it is. Please, just click.
When I came here, all over the village, there was nothing like solar power. We are all using tadoba. I spoke to the people. I told them, whoever puts up half an acre of napier grass, I'm ready to give him a solar panel. And some people embraced it. And so the talk on the village was, his pigs are sleeping in electricity. And I'm using the words literally, sleeping in electricity. How come that we are sleeping in Itadoba? So people start embracing. So when you go throughout this village, it is full of now solar. Then recently with the government program for rural electrification, when I made my application, they came, they inquired, they saw the enterprises, and they said it is worth that we support you. You're supposed to be putting up feed mills, etc. So now we are having the electricity on the village, and over 70 families are already going to enjoy it. So we believe we are impacting positively our society. Earlier on I talked about modernization of agriculture. We can't go on in the traditional way. So one of our major challenges, as I've stated, is the weather. So we have engaged irrigation, and we are doing it via drip lines. In all the aspects, whether it is coffee, whether passion fruit or bananas or tomatoes. So I think that is a step ahead of so many people. We are not just bragging, but we are saying it's the way to go anyway. It's the way to go. Secondly, where we are, water is very scarce. So every drop of water to me matters. So I can't even afford using this type of, I'm forgetting the term. So we have to go drip line, just on every single. So that's a very good and positive aspect. And of course, we are trying our level best to also add value to what we are having, like yogurt in our milk. Yeah. So we are adding value in our milk, and we are doing yogurt, which we are selling, of course, to schools. They are our major consumers. And presently, that's where we are. For tomatoes, we had anticipated starting tomato paste, but we did some experiments, we are yet to reach where we are supposed to reach. But at least there's also some light in the tunnel in that aspect when it comes to tomatoes. The rest, we are yet to be there, yeah. I told you, from the word go, conservation of the environment is very key to us. Bovera are not plastic bags are not part of soil. And when you go through some of our billboards within the farm, it is stated clearly, God has never created any plastic soil. He created organic, which has ability to rot, to do whatever. So the soils are naturally dejecting whatever that is foreign to them. So kavera and plastic bottles are not allowed on the farm. If a visitor, of course, pleasantly and humbly we shall tell you, make sure that you maintain your kavera and plastic bottles within your car. If you don't want a plastic smile, you should not like equally plastic soil, because we shall have to pay the price for the bovera. We shall have to pay the price for the plastics. And in fact, I'm giving credence to the people who are trying now to recycle them. Secondly, it is taboo to cut trees on the farm. The few trees I have is what I found there. So I don't allow any cutting of trees. In any case, I have just a few of them. To the contrary, we are trying to add as many as possible. Then three, when it comes to environment, even there's a penalty. That one I have to state. I find a kavera on the farm, every employer have to deduct his salary for finding a caveira on the farm. So they make sure that they pick, even if it came from a neighbor and it flew into the farm in one way or another. There's a penalty for a plastic bottle, there's a penalty for. So if people are buying their soda in the plastic bottles, they make sure that it is disposed the way it is supposed to be disposed. In some instances, we use herbicides. How do we dispose of bottles that have been having herbicides and acaricides? So those are all issues conserving the environment. So it is very, very important. And I'm making an appeal to all farmers and even society. This time it should not be only government. Everybody should be seeing the littering of caveira as one of our major diseases. So environment is quite very important. Of course, each enterprise has its own income and it's run as a different unit. The poultry has its own incomes and expenditures. And their incomes are different. But to answer the question, I think I'm getting something that is that can get us moving. The number of challenges. One, of course, they are becoming lower and lower. Attitude of the society is changing. I've come a long way, but it is our duty to transform it better. Two, as a farmer, and specifically as a farmer, we have our own challenges. For example, sometimes you find yourself getting fake herbicides. You find yourself getting fake acaricides all over the place. That is why I'm so strict, in as far as I'm concerned, with some of my service providers. I'll make sure that I'm not making an advert for them, but when it comes to acaricides, dewormers, etc., I'll make sure that I go to Mpigi, because that's where I can get something that is trustable. But it's a challenge in other places when it comes to herbicides and acaricides. Another challenge, I think Uganda would have grown far, but capital injections are slow. Accessing bigger capital in order to improve our enterprises, I think the interest rates are not palatable at all to a farmer. Not only to a farmer, even generally to business in Uganda. It becomes worse when it comes to agriculture, which is so much patterned on the weather. Because with all sincerity, tell me one enterprise that can generate a minimum profit of 21 to 24%. Because that's the first amount you have to pay the banker. But of course, even the bankers have tried to put up also some good products that are trying now to become palatable today. But in the nutshell, or in summary, capital injection is slow. You have to make a saving here, you have to make here. So it's still a challenge. Then three, generally in farming, and maybe it may be a generational issue, work attitudes are still having challenges, not only in farming, but generally in the country, and I think we have a lot to do there. Work attitudes. We need to cultivate a positive attitude towards work. You have to cater for their welfare and make sure that you move them to be part and feel part, to be part of the farm. If in their mind, it is your farm and not our farm. So that is a slow but sure way of bringing them and changing attitudes. Secondly, their welfare is quite important. You have to impress it upon them that, please, much as you are doing these herbicides, I'm interested in your health. Are you putting on your mask? Are you putting on your gumboots? It is something that looks small, but it's quite very important. Three, when they are sick, cater for their medical expenses to the best of your ability. And even encourage them equally to develop themselves. Because, well, they may serve us today or the other day, but they have also ultimate goals. So try to impress it upon them that they also need to develop themselves. For capital injection, well, in as far as I'm concerned, more stress on personal savings and tightening here and there, and make sure that you do your plans properly. One of our major problems here in Uganda, and also partly in farming, and even in other enterprises, very few of us take time to plan for what we are going to do. We first go into the thing, and then we start to plan. One engineer told me, tear the paper plan 10 times other than tearing the building. So I take time, plan, but then I have to take the first step always and make sure that once we have done the planning, we don't need to tear down the building because the building is money already. One, I'm seeing myself as one of the best farmers who can inspire others. And I would love to do that as a leader, and just even, it's always in order that you go on and on improving. I had my boss, the late Honorable Sabana Chizito. He used to tell us, how is everything? And you tell him, Chairman, it is good. Then he will tell you, can't it be better? Then I said, no, it is best. Then he tells you, can you better your best? So I'm seeing myself bettering my best every new year. And it should become a center of attraction for learning purposes. For learning purposes. And that's why even it's part of our culture here at the farm. We bring in young men and women to do their internship. Some farmers don't allow people to do internship on their farms. But I allow them, they come, they study, they advise us, and they have moved us ahead. And I maintain even an internship logbook. I'm interested to know that there are some people out there who can use your farm for learning purposes, because we are equally building on others' research. They did their research, they gave it to us. Let the people do the research, we build, that's the way to build society. Then 3, the future of this farm. I'm seeing it as a source of inspiration to people that God is great. I'm a leader in the church. We may have all the wisdom, we may have all the money, but without God, we are just spending our. So that's why I want to see people who are passing by, they say, glory be to God. That was an arid desert, it is now a farm. That should be a story for everybody, year in, year out. We are praying that our story inspires others. We are praying that people's dreams come to pass. And as I've always said, my motto is, my God, my Lord, my all. So, whatever enterprise we are investing in, whatever we're doing, let it be for the greater glory of God. Thank you very much.
I really hope you enjoyed this particular episode, because it was, for me, it was very eye-opening. I mean, somebody to start from nothing to where this man is, to where the farm has gone. This could be you, because you too can do exactly what he has done with barren land, okay? So go ahead and leave us a comment if you really like what we've put forth. And yes, some more advice. Let's push this. Have a good one.